Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you all. We are now live here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. It is Tuesday, December the 3rd, 2024. Chilly night outside. I hope you guys are warming up wherever it is that you are around the world. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a big old thumbs up. Share throughout your entire social media platform. And more importantly, I hope you guys are getting ready for your holidays and all that stuff. And again, Raw last night was just wow, brother. Who would have thought we were gonna see what we're gonna see, right? With the New Day. It's crazy. It's fucking insane. I'm still at a loss for words. Like, I have a coworker of mine. I think I might have brought this up. He's a casual viewer, so he just started watching wrestling a couple years ago. So he wasn't there for like the beginning of the New Day or anything like that. But he was just like, at all like, wow, I can't believe that happened last night. I can't believe it happened, right? And let's be honest, I feel like a lot of us in some way, shape, or form, we had a feeling of what was going to happen. We had like a sense of what was going to go down tonight. Somebody was going to turn on somebody, right? And lo and behold, both Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston turn on Big E. We'll get into that in a little bit. But as always, what's going on, everyone? I am Steve, and I'm doing this solo again. Damn, I think it feels like the third week in a row. Holy shit. But what's going on, everyone? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below. Give the video a big old thumbs up. Share through social media, wherever it is that you are sharing your wrestling content with all your friends and loved ones out there and all that fun stuff. In case you've missed it, yesterday we were busy here. We did Steve's Kitchen, not just once but twice, because my dumbass on my phone pressed the end live stream. So we had to do a part two and all that stuff. And yeah, it was just a fucking mess yesterday with my computer. I gotta get a new one. I gotta get a new computer in 2025. It has to happen. So that's the plan. But yeah, that's why yesterday there was a lot of technical issues, mostly from my end with the computer just acting up and all that stuff. But Raw last night, let me tell you guys. Overall, look, man, going into this show, this is the post Survivor Series show. So I was wondering, all right, how are they going to get this done? What should I look forward to, right? And for the most part, like a lot of people seem to have enjoyed the show for the most part. Even Cage Match themselves, they're giving the show an 8.80 out of 10. So that's like a B almost, like like a strong B to say the least. But again, the big thing on the show was what happened with the 10th year anniversary of the New Day celebration. Everyone thought we were going to get, balloons, champagne, and just celebration of the New Day, the return of Big E, because you kind of knew going into this Big E was going to return, right? You kind of knew going into this. And you kind of knew, like, going in the back of your mind, okay, what is the status of Big E right now? Like, what is the status? What's going on with him right now, right? We're just not sure. And we don't know if he's going to get cleared. We don't know any of that stuff, right? And it's crazy because, like, early in the day yesterday, I know Big E posted an article or something on the Players Tribune. He posted a quote and all that stuff, and it got people wondering what's going to happen. And we saw what happened, right? They literally turned on him. And we'll get into this in a little bit as well, but I kind of want to get into most of the show, and then from there, just, build my assessment and all that stuff. But yeah, let's get into this, shall we? Let's get into this for the most part. The show opened up again. This was the post Survivor Series episode of Monday Night Raw for the most part. Just give me a sec here. Give me 1 second here. There you go. Much better. Much better. I feel like this is much better. There you go. The show opened up again. This is post Survivor Series for the most part. So it opened up with CM Punk. Again, you gotta remember CM Punk was part of the team, original bloodline, and he was going into that match as a favor to his friend Paul Heyman. And basically, again, he's reminding everyone how good it is to be alive here in Everett, Washington. That's where they were at, by the way, Everett, Washington. And he talked about, again, how a couple of months ago, after a career-ending War Games match, it felt like, about Hell in a Cell match against Drew McIntyre, that he needed to take time away to heal up some things. And he came back. He came back at the War Games, right, to help out his friend Paul Heyman in a match with Roman Reigns and the Usos and Sammy. And now he's focused on something bigger. Like, he proceeds to point at this invisible sign that's in the crowd. And we all know what it is. Like, we all know what he was saying. Like, his focus right now is obviously what's eluded his career his entire time, and that is the main event of WrestleMania. But there's ways to get there, right? And he knows that, but he has a favor in his pocket that he's ready to use in order to get there. And then this all led to Seth freaking Rollins to show up. And Rollins basically said, "You know what, man? I should have knocked your ass out the moment you returned, that he felt petty and all that stuff. And everything, again, it boils down to the fact that CM Punk teamed up with Roman Reigns. If you recall, right, leading up to War Games, they tried to bring in Seth Rollins. They went out of their way, tried to make Seth Rollins the 5th member of Team OG Bloodline. Mind you, what was it? Jimmy Uso spoke to Braun Breaker. Jey Uso spoke to Rey Mysterio. There was a point where Sami Zayn spoke to, I think, Cody and LA Knight, something like that. But their main choice was obviously Seth freaking Rollins, and Seth Rollins told them all to fuck off. I want nothing to do with this. But CM Punk, a guy that Rollins still can't stand. He cannot stand Seth. Seth Rollins cannot stand CM Punk. And the fact that CM Punk teamed up with Roman Reigns along with Sami Zayn and the Usos, that just made it even worse for Seth freaking Rollins. So they proceed to brawl. And let me just tell you, this was the weakest brawl I have ever seen. Like, yeah, you knew that Rollins and Punk were going to get physical. They were going to have a physical altercation. They were going to fight eventually. We know we're getting this match, right? But that brawl was just terrible. Punk, and you see it in slow motion. He literally goes for the wackiest punch, bro. The worst punch I have ever seen somebody throw. And yet, he misses Seth Rollins. Misses. Like, if you watch the slow-mo, he's literally punching the air. Literally, he's punching the fucking air. Literally. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing here? And they're brawling right as a pull apart. Everyone comes out and break this up. And again, it's clear that what CM Punk wants. CM Punk wants the World Heavyweight Championship. And I think we're going to get that. I say Royal Rumble. But I do think Seth Rollins will cost CM Punk the championship. I feel like that's just the way that's the way we're going with this. And again, we know that CM Punk wants to move on, all that stuff, like I just mentioned. But they just reminded everyone, hey, look, man, before you can really move on, there's one little piece of business, and that is Seth freaking Rollins. And look, the match itself should be fine the moment they get in the ring. I want to believe it's going to be at WrestleMania. Just won't be the main event. Maybe it will be. Who knows, right? Maybe. Look, for all we know, for all intents and purposes here, right? We could possibly see CM Punk beating Gunther at Royal Rumble for the championship, and then Seth Rollins goes on to win the Royal Rumble. That's possible as well. It's very, very possible. Let me just be clear on that one too. Very possible. Even though that was the match we were supposed to get last year in Philly, but obviously Punk hurt his tricep, and you kind of knew going into that, even before that, that was the direction they wanted to go with. That is CM Punk and Seth Rollins, and it didn't happen. So here we are now. Now here we are, right? Again, the brawl sucked for the most part. Then we saw Seth Rollins get in the face of Sami Zayn. He's mad at Sami, that being Rollins, that is, right, for teaming up with CM Punk. And Zayn said that he wanted to be with Rollins, not Punk. Punk says he never wants to team with Roman Reigns again. Rollins said he never wanted to team up with Roman Reigns again. Zayn blames Rollins for creating the monster of Roman. If you guys remember, that's very true as well. For all this talk of who's to blame what, right? Seth Rollins started this whole thing. In 2014, on the episode of Raw, when he hit Roman Reigns in the back of a steel chair. ending the Shield when Seth Rollins turned on the Shield, turned on Roman Reigns, turned on Jon Moxley, even though, oh, that was Dean Ambrose, but still same shit, to join the Authority. That's what he did, for the most part. So all of this, at the end of the day, has a lot to do with Seth Rollins. And look, I'm just excited for the matches we could be getting in 2025 alone. Just the matches themselves. Like, think about this, right? You could be seeing CM Punk versus Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. Like, we know they had that match in 2022 at the Royal Rumble, and it kind of ended like in a disqualification or whatever the fuck it was, or a no contest, whatever. But now you run it back, and we know the story now, and all that. Oh, bro, it's gonna be like fucking fine wine, bro. I'm telling you now, it's gonna be like fucking fine wine. But for the most part, again, CM Punk can't throw a punch. And I'm pretty sure somewhere out there, somebody was fearing for his fucking life, but that's no here or there. We saw the Judgment Day doing a promo backstage where Finn is throwing shade at everyone and says that he had to return to his issues with Damian Priest because Dominic Mysterio failed to handle the problem. And he tells Liv Morgan to focus on facing Io Sky at Saturday night's main event. Kind of crazy because, again, we saw what happened on Saturday with Finn Balor once again getting into the life of Damian Priest. And that's still kind of unsettled, even though technically Damian Priest already beat him at Bad Blood, right? But for the most part of it, right, we're starting to see like this whole thing with Finn Balor where he's getting upset because he said, look, there's no leaders in Judgment Day, but low-key, he wants to be the one. He wants to be the one to lead the charge for this Judgment Day. But the reality is, it's not happening. It's not happening for the most part. But after this, we did get the opening match of the night. Before we got into that, actually, no, hold up. Yeah, we do. We got the opening match of the night here. We have Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan versus Damage Control of Io Sky and Kairi Sane. The match, for the most part, was fine. Basically, here, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan did pick up the W here because, again, they did lose on Saturday. Liv Morgan did take the pin, but you want to give her some momentum here again because she is going to be facing Kairi Sane at Saturday night's main event for that Women's World Heavyweight Championship, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you forgot already. I'm pretty sure a lot of you don't even remember the fact that Io Sky is getting a shot at the title, has a championship match in her back pocket. Io Sky, thank you, Christopher Leclerc. I'm pretty sure a lot of you forgot. Y'all must forgot that she does have this women's title match in her back pocket after winning that Battle Royal in Saudi Arabia, if I remember correctly. But after this, right, the Judgment Day continue assaulting the opponents, that being Io Sky and Kairi Sane. Ripley comes down and brawls with her rivals, and Raquel runs away after throwing Ripley into the announcer table. So yeah, there's a moment where Rhea Ripley, her eye hits the corner of the table, and she starts selling this shit like, oh my gosh, she's hurt. I don't know if she's fully recovered. Could this be some way to, again, give her more time to recover just in case, be ready for the Rumble? Possible. We'll see what happens. But for the most part, not even that. My bad. Because guess what? Next week, it's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. Fuck what I just said. Fuck what I just said about her taking time off. Fuck that. This is happening next week. And I must say, this is a terrible render for Raquel Rodriguez. What the fuck are we doing, WWE? Get it together. Get it fucking together. We did see Jackie Redmond interview Gunther backstage, and he's interrupted by Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. And Finn wants a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity. And Gunther says he will give Dom something instead because Dom defeated Priest. So see, there you go again. Now you have Gunther, who got his confidence back after defeating Damian Priest, even though he told Finn, I did not want it to be this way. He wanted to beat Damian Priest on his own, man-to-man, mano-a-mano, one-on-one. But now there'll be some sort of like an asterisk on the fact that, well, Gunther did win, but with help of Finn Balor stomping on Damian Priest on the outside of the ring. But again, just the fact that Gunther told Finn, you know what? I'll give Dominic Mysterio instead the opportunity. That has to sting at him. Again, you think about it too. Again, when you think about it, Damian Priest lost to Dominic Mysterio. Dominic Mysterio also, let's factor in, he is, what's it called? The number one in ESPN 30 under 30, bro. So, of course, he's going to get these perks, bro. What are we doing? Of course, he's getting these fucking perks. You out of your mind to think that he doesn't get this opportunity? Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing? We did have the opening match for the Intercontinental women's Intercontinental Championship tournament, the first round. So this is the bracket. For those of you who are unaware of what this bracket is looking like, this is the bracket. Opening match was Dakota Kai, Shayna Baszler, and Katana Chance. Likely next week. Next week, we're going to get Lyra Valkyria, Zelina Vega, and Ivy Nile. Also, soon we'll be getting Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez, and Kaden Carter. And also to close off this tournament is Alba Fire, Kairi Sane, and Natalya. So let's get Natalya in there. Honestly, if I'm being honest here right now, right, who I see in the final, honestly, I do see in the semis Lyra Valkyria and Natalya meeting. I do see that in the semifinals. But as far as the final go, I would not mind it being Natalya. And you know what? Either Dakota Kai or Raquel Rodriguez. Because you do want to give Judgment Day some momentum too. You kind of do. You kind of want to give momentum to Judgment Day, right? But at the same time, Dakota Kai just came back. So it can go either way, but I do see Natty in the finals. That's possible too, Christopher. Dakota Kai versus Lyra Valkyria is possible as well. You just never know. Just never fucking know. But we did have the opening match, Dakota Kai, Shayna Baszler, and Katana Chance. For the most part, it was a fine match. The match went about, if I'm not mistaken here, the match went about, 7 minutes for the most part. It was fine. Everyone got their moment to shine for the most part, but was all said and done, Dakota Kai advances to the next round. So, yeah, it kind of crazy, but then again, at the same time, not really surprised by this. So, because of that, by virtue of the win, Dakota Kai will meet the winner of Zoe Stark, Raquel Rodriguez, and Kaden Carter. And next week, we are going to get, real quick, next week, Zelina Vega, Ivy Nile, and Lyra Valkyria going at it next week as well. Dakota Kai needs to win her first singles title in her career. Valid. Very, very fucking valid. I see what you mean there. But we'll see how that goes and all that stuff. But let's continue this review. Let's continue with this. We then get the New Day 10th anniversary. Like I just mentioned, right? Who saw that one coming, right? And I love the props that they had in the ring. I love all the props, right? The bootios, like that big ass box of bootios from WrestleMania 32. I remember I was there, right? I remember seeing the shit. Fun little fact, I never once had bootios, the cereal. I thought about buying it back in the day, and I just never really went fully with it. But be that as it may, crazy to think, right? The New Day has been around for 10 years, bro. 10 years, bro. To think that when they just formed, right? I'll never forget this, right? There's that episode of Raw like back in 2014 where all three of them, Xavier Woods, Kofi, and Big E, come all dressed up and shit. And you felt like, all right, maybe this will be a new heel faction, right? And instead, it was a heel faction, but it wasn't the heel faction that you were all expecting. It was that laughable, funny, you know what I mean, heels, if you will. But as time went on, they got over, they got the reaction, they got the love of the crowd, and everyone went on to success. Multiple time tag team championships. I think it's 8 times. Their rivalry with the Usos, right? They held at one point, they were the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history until the Usos beat them for it, which is fine, right? Kofi went on to become WWE champion, Kofi Mania. I was there for that. Me and Walter were there, right? Big E went on to win Money in the Bank, cash it on Bobby Lashley, had a, decent run. Could the run been better? Absolutely. And then Xavier went on to win King of the Ring and also have success with his Twitch channel, up, up, down, down, and all this stuff. So there has been success through virtue of the New Day, right? For everybody. But as the last couple of weeks, for the last couple of months, we've been seeing the New Day, being Xavier and Kofi, going at it, right? Arguing. They weren't being very positive like for the most part. And you kind of knew something had to give. We're gonna get Big E coming back or something of that matter, right? Big E comes back, right? Squashes all this shit. We're all good. We're all new. It's a new day all over again, right? Will Big E be cleared, right? That didn't happen. Again, Big E comes out. He talks about how it's hurt to see them argue, right? But until he's medically cleared, he will be their manager of both Xavier and Kofi, right? And everyone was happy. Everybody was celebrating except Kofi and Xavier. Basically, they said, so what? You hurt your neck. So what? You didn't need surgery. You left us to pursue other opportunities. Because again, Big East is being hurt. He's been on the kickoff panel, right? Every single PLE in the kickoff. Been an ambassador for WWE. Right? So he's been doing projects for WWE outside of the ring, right? But for the New Day, for Xavier and Kofi, he's like, no, you left us. They referenced Kurt Angle having a broken neck winning the Olympics, right? Stone Cold Steve Austin broke his neck and still came back. Edge, right? Broke his neck and came back, but why haven't Big E? And basically, they just told him to fuck off. Like, they don't want him anymore. Like, they kicked him out of the New Day, basically, right? Xavier and Kofi were both pissed off of Big E and that Big E wants to come back now. And they said, like I mentioned, that he could have come back at any point to do this for them. And again, like I mentioned, they ran down every single wrestler that I just mentioned, right? And there's a moment where Big E is just crying. He can't believe this is happening. He can't believe this is over. And he leaves the ring crying. You know what it's like, bro? It's like a parent being turned down by a loved one. And you leave and it's like, damn, I did all this stuff. And you can't even like acknowledge or appreciate. You're hurt. It's fucking being hurt, And it just, wow. First of all, it was beautiful cinema. Just fucking beautiful. The way it was ran down. And then we see that visual of Big E and Xavier like shaking hands. Like, it's just us now. I say, you know what? Give these guys the tag team titles. You're going to have to. Give them a run with the tag team title belt. Now that they're heels, legit heels, go for it. I am all on board. I am all on board on that. That being said, there has been some contract updates on Big E. It's been said here, this is per Fightful Select, that the reports that all three members of New Day, Xavier, Kofi Kingston, uh, all have signed 5-year deals 5 years ago. It's set to expire at the end of this year. While there's no news on Woods and Kingston, there's something of an update on Big E. With E having been out due to injury since March of 2022, WWE would have the option to add injury time to extend his contract. However, Fightful reports that as of this past summer, the belief was that WWE had not added any injury time onto his deal. The word on whether he resigned or signed a new deal since then, and the report notes there's a chance that things could have changed, but out of the summer, that was the situation. Again, we don't even know if Big E is going to be cleared or not. I know he's seeking options from doctors, just like Bryan Danielson did back in like 2016, 2017, going into 2018, trying to seek doctors' opinions to get cleared. He's doing everything he can. I know he went to Cancun to do like stem cell and all that stuff. I know he said before that he is content. He is happy with the way his life is right now. He has no regrets. He's not sad about this shit. Like, he is happy that he can still, again, function, move around, work out, be with his loved ones. And that's all you can ask for at the end of the day, right? Should Big E, should he not come back? Yeah, it would suck, but at the same time, like, yo, look what the guy's accomplished, right? Look what he's accomplished, in his time in the ring. He got to become the world champion. Granted, was it a good run? Not necessarily, but it happened, right? For the most part, right? And again, we'll see what happens. I know people are predicting Royal Rumble. Oh, Rumble time. He's going to show up. He's all cleared, and he eliminates both Xavier and Kofi, and we're off to the races. I saw someone post on Twitter also, again, one of those fan-made WrestleMania post graphic, like the match card graphic of all three members of the New Day, right? All three members of the fucking New Day going at it and that stuff. Look, at this point in juncture, just sit back and let this shit play out. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you. Love that Dean Ambrose avatar, by the way. From there, we saw Karrion Kross call out the Wide Six. If you guys remember what happened last week, I guess it was Nikki Cross who attacked Scarlett. All this is leading to this match next week, an 8-man tag between the Wide Six and the Final Testament and The Miz. Big whoop. Big whoop. This, honestly, should have been a Survivor Series, I will say. This could have easily been your traditional Survivor Series match, something to have on the show, and there's that. But they chose not to, so there you go. We did get Gunther versus Dominic Mysterio, and as you expect, Gunther it was a one-sided beatdown of Dominic Mysterio. As you expect. Finn Balor jumps Gunther post-match and hits multiple coup de grace. Remember, Gunther attacked Finn at Survivor Series. So all this, right, it is official. It will be Gunther defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Finn Balor at Saturday night's main event. Which will go down Saturday, December 14th. That should be fun. I think we're going to be also doing, leading up until Saturday night's main event, we will be doing a watch along to old Saturday night's main event from like back in the 80s, stuff like that. So I think tomorrow we will be going live with the return of the throwback. So just keep your eyes peeled on that one. All right. We'll keep you posted tomorrow on social media with more information on that. But that is the plan tomorrow before Dynamite, for those of you that still watch the show, but still, it is what it is. From there, I still watch it too, but I'm just saying. We saw Jey Uso was jumped backstage by a mystery assailant while Pete Dunne was interviewed by Jackie Redmond. And this led To people wondering who did it, right? We saw Ludwig Kaiser challenge Braun Breaker to a singles match for the IC title as well. Sami Zayn asked Adam Pearce who jumped Jey Uso. Pearce didn't know, but Sami kind of had an idea on who it was. And I mentioned already, Finn Balor was told by Adam Pearce that he'll be challenging Gunther for the World Heavyweight title at Saturday night's main event. I mean, overall, the card itself, it looks kind of good. I will say it looks good. You know, you do have Cody versus Kevin Owens, which we could possibly see Kevin Owens walk out the new WWE champion. I just want a surprise. Like, throw me a curveball, right? You have Liv Morgan and Io Sky going at it for the women's championship. Also, Finn Balor versus Gunther. Like, they're stacking up this show. They're stacking up Saturday night's main event, the first one too, and God knows how long. And I look forward to seeing it. Agreed. I don't know. Agreed. I still don't know why WWE ever got rid of brand warfare. Like the stuff we get was great. Survivor Series isn't as good as it used to be, but I personally think it could have kept the War Games in NXT. Yeah, it's fine, but I think also people just wanted to see the War Games on the main roster for a while, even during the Vince regime, even though Vince was never going to do it because it wasn't his creation. But hey, we finally got it, and I get what you're saying. You're not wrong on that. We ended up getting Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn. For the most part, the match wasn't bad or anything. It was fine. Again, these two guys can go out there and have a clinic every single time. I can see these guys wrestle 10 matches straight and not get bored. That being said, there's a moment in this match where Sami has a chair. And he's already like, yo, I'm about to hit this guy with the steel chair. Because in Sami's mind, Seth Rollins is the one who attacked Jey Uso in the back. Because again, for Seth Rollins, and again, this is probably going through Sami's mind. For Seth Rollins, oh my God, you teamed up with Roman Reigns, I'm going to hit you. And you also teamed up with CM Punk, I'm going to attack you, right? Because again, Seth Rollins hates CM Punk. He hates Roman Reigns. We've talked about this early in this review. So Seth's like, oh, it wasn't me. He didn't do it. He had to really convince Sami Zayn that it wasn't him. And Sami believed him. Throws away the chair just to get rolled up into the 1, 2, 3. And Seth Rollins walks out the victor. And then you kind of know the show. And by the way, too, I kind of hate the fact that they did this in just a short amount of time, right? Like, it was 9:53, like 9:54-ish, and we're starting the main event. Like, what are we doing, right? I get it. It's a 2-hour show now, so it is what it is. And you see the camera, like, on Sami Zayn. The show's not even over yet. Like, oh, something's coming. And I hear the crowd. And he gets attacked by someone in a hood. We all know who it is. Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre was the one who attacked Jey Uso. Because you got to think about this too, right? Seth Rollins isn't the only one that hates the Bloodline and CM Punk. So does Drew McIntyre. Remember all the times when Drew was facing Roman Reigns and the Bloodline would get involved, right? In his business, right? Survivor Series 2021, I believe it was. Yeah, it was Survivor Series, either 2020 or 2021. I'm leaning more towards 2020. I believe that's when it was Drew and Roman for the championship. If I'm wrong on that, I'm wrong on that, and I apologize. Okay, but it stems from that. And then you go to Clash of the Castle. Literally, Drew thought in Wales, right, in Cardiff, that he was going to win the championship. He had him beat, right, and then Solo Sikoa gets involved. Also factoring in, CM Punk been making Drew's life a living hell since returning to WWE. They've had those classic matches. They had a Hell in a Cell match a couple months ago. So, of course, Drew is going to still feel some kind of way. We have not seen him since Hell in a Cell. So again, he's another one, just like Seth Rollins, who can't stand the bloodline, who can't stand CM Punk. And I would not be shocked. You know what? We find out that CM Punk, about that Seth Rollins and Drew formed some type of alliance. Just saying, it's possible, right? But I agree, Chief. Great storytelling on the Raw last night. Great storytelling. I like how Seth Rollins hates Roman Reigns, but he is the one who hit Roman with the chair on June 2nd, 2014. Thank you for telling me the date, Kyle. I appreciate that. And Roman literally told him, I will never forget you. I will never forget what you did to us. So there you go. But overall, look, man, this Raw, overall, great episode of Raw for the most part. Great storytelling, like Chief said. And again, for a post-Survivor, for a post-PLE pay-per-view, this is how you fucking do it. This is how you do it. I wish other companies took notes. Just saying. That being said, I'm going to give this Raw, I'm going to give it an A. I'm going to give this Raw an A for that segment alone. Look, have you guys ever watched the episode of Fresh Prince, right? The episode where Uncle Phil had a commercial that Will tweaked out, right? And at the end of it, you see Will shouting out, "Who, Emmy!" That's the same thing for this New Day segment from last night. Emmy! Hands down. But just in case you guys don't know, for next week, we are getting, again, Raquel Rodriguez versus Rhea Ripley. Again, WWE, do a better job with the Raquel render. With all due respect. You have the Wyatt Six versus the Final Testament and The Miz in an 8-man tag. This should have been a Survivor Series, but we're getting it on Monday Night Raw. And of course, you're gonna get the second women's match in the Women's Intercontinental Championship Tournament first round match between Lyra Valkyria, who I see winning her match and probably go into the finals. Zelina Vega, who I will say, you know what, she is my dark horse in this tournament. And of course, you have Ivy Nile as well. But that's going to go down tomorrow, the next Monday. In case you guys don't know, Dakota Kai advanced in her match, so she advances on to the semifinals of this tournament. All right, but that's going to be it for me. In case you guys have not checked out yet, last night myself, Walter, and Romeo did a Steve's Kitchen. We had to do two of them because I fucked up on the first one because I pressed end stream when the stream was still going. And that is on me, all right? That, I'm going to be honest, bro, that is on me for the most part, okay? That's on me. I'll own up to it, okay? I hope you guys forgive me for that one, all right? But that is what happened, all right? Also, I kind of mentioned this moments ago. We are planning on doing a throwback tomorrow for Saturday night's main event. Being that Saturday night's main event is in a couple of Saturdays from now. We're going to try to do one tomorrow. We'll try to go back in time for a Saturday night's main event. So make sure you tune in and watch it and all that fun stuff. Myself, who knows, maybe Walter will be here, Romeo will be here, who knows. But that's the plan for tomorrow. I'll keep you posted on Twitter for more information on that. Who do you move to SmackDown, Drew or Punk? We can't ignore the last passion between these two. Honestly, I would say he did what's it called? Honestly, I moved Drew. I would move Drew. Oh shit, you are right. R-Truth, I forgot. R-Truth also was in a match, and he beat Pete Dunne in a short match. Wow. But yeah, Raw was awesome last night. Thank you, J-Mac. But again, guys, tomorrow we will be doing a throwback. Again, follow me on Twitter. If you've not yet followed me on Twitter, @HeelSteven. Follow the Around the Point Network over on X @ATPointNetwork to get more information on that. But that is the plan of attack. If you've not yet checked out Steve's Kitchen, there's two parts because I fucked up on one of them. But there's two parts to Steve's Kitchen. mostly on my phone because my computer was acting up. I'm gonna try to get a new computer in 2025. But that is gonna be it for us, guys. Much love to all of you, as always. I love each and every single one of you, mother flowers. All right. But that's gonna be it for me, for the most part. Again, for myself, for the gang, this has been the Raw Rundown here on the Around the Point Network.